Hi everyone, welcome to First Phase Media. This is Mark, and today I am with Asaf Porat, CFO and board member of AppYea, a company focused on the development of wearable monitoring solutions to treat sleep apnea and snoring. How are you doing, Asaf?
I'm good, I'm well. And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, for our viewers, could you introduce the company, AppYea?
Sure. AppYea is a health tech company commercializing breakthrough wearable technology for the treatment of snoring and developing wearable solutions to diagnose and treat sleep apnea.
Okay, and could you tell us how big is the sleep industry, and after, if possible, what about the snoring segment?
Sure. According to the research of Kenneth Research Global, the smart sleep tracking products will reach at the end of 28 a market size of $11 billion. Currently, or specifically, the snoring market today is estimated at $7 billion volume per year.
Okay, and let's get to know more about you and the executive team. Could you tell us why you have joined the board?
Well, as you know, I'm the CFO of the company. It's a public company. I'm helping with leading the team, leading the decisions in the company, and I think part of, or significant part of every company is the side of the economics, the growth, the capabilities, the engine, and it's part of the engine of the company in addition to the technology, of course. So I think to lead it and describe it in front of the board, the leading team, and it's part of the decisions making to lead the company.
And when you were talking about the team, could you discuss the board? You know, like experience-wise, skill set-wise, how experienced are they?
Sure. I'll start with Barry, which is the main shareholder in the company. In his background, he came from the finance industry. For the last 7 years, he was focused on our market, the sleep quality and health of sleep industry. And during those years, he was part of the development of the IP, or part of it, of the IP that is in the company current today, in the subsidiary of AppYea. It's the name of the company is SleepX. So he's of course leading as a chairman. Then there's Neil Klein, which is an independent board member who established the American Sleep Association. He is a very experienced guy in the industry. He has a lot of knowledge, expertise. He knows everyone, the players, the technology, advancements, foreseeing products and needs of everyone. He helps us a lot with his knowledge, and we intend to add to the board, as we promised, a CPA for the audit committee. And there's me. Tell you a little bit about myself. My background is the capital markets for a lot of years. Was involved in a lot of mergers, capital raise, M&As, and so on. During the last 6-7 years, I was CFO of 2 other startups. One was in the food industry, and the second was a SaaS company in the genetic industry. So I saw a broad kind of companies and revenue generation, and of course led a lot of processes of capital raise, mergers, and development in the growth stage of those companies.
Okay, so now let's dive in SleepX and DreamIT. So for our viewers, could you tell us why did you acquire SleepX? You know, what was the big picture behind it?
Okay, so Barry established SleepX several years ago and basically brought into it IP from several sources. One of them is the Ben Gurion University, and another from a company that he established and, as I said before, developed the IP. The intention was to merge it with AppYea, which we did at the end of last year, and raise capital in order to accelerate the growth of the company, the developments, and revenue generation.
Okay. Oh, and what about your flagship product, DreamIT? Could you tell us how it works?
Sure. So that's a very good question. The DreamIT is a wristband that you put on yourself. The patient puts on him when he goes to sleep. Of course, besides taking all of the monitoring, the regular things of oxygen, blood pressure, and so on, what it can do is in real time respond to the snoring through the listening of the app, and create vibration that in the long term will create in the patient biofeedback response to put himself in a position where he doesn't snore. So at the end, the patient will have a better sleep, better health, and immediately when he feels that vibration, he changes into the position without the need of his wife to give him an elbow to wake him up, turned to the side, so everything will be automatic. That's our intent. That's the target here.
Okay, and with your flagship product, what is the strategy of expansion?
Okay, so at the beginning, immediately we'll start, and we've started selling through our online store. And of course, we're already in contact with several distributors and channels. We're in touch with a telecom company from Europe, and we were also approached by a mattresses manufacturer and distributor that wants to sell the product along with his product because it's a perfect match to what he does. Basically, he gives a solution for sleeping, and to treat snoring is part of it.
Okay, and with your distribution network, do you have forecasted revenues and margins?
Okay, we know our margins are quite high. We have the capability to manufacture on a monthly basis 20,000 units of wristbands. So it's all a matter of how much we pour into marketing and the development that we want to add to the products. So we anticipate in general selling within the coming months thousands of units and reach 10,000 of units within the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay. And after DreamIT, do you plan to have other projects, like do you plan to develop other ones to commercialize?
Sure, of course. We have two additional products in the pipeline. The first one is the SleepX Pro, which is an app that will identify sleep apnea during the night only through sound. There's no need to touch the patient, anything on his face, on his body. Just through that, we intend to file during 2023 the request for the 510K. And we hope to achieve it by the end of before the end of 23 and start selling it. And the second product is the DreamIT Pro, which is a wristband for the treatment of sleep apnea. That product will require the full FDA process of clinical trials and the requests and so on. So we will start this process hopefully at the end of 23, and we anticipate to finish and receive the approval by the end of 24.
And so, Asaf, for our viewers, could you say what are the company's highlights and strengths?
So we're agile. We know how to move fast. We have a very strong IP, and we intend to enter the market and compete, or maybe even eliminate in the future the sleep labs and in general to help solve a lot of people sleep problems and create a better health for all the people using our products, and even live longer and better.
Okay, and talking about future, what could investors expect in the short term and middle term?
You know, we operate, or our strategy is as a long-term company. We don't necessarily see the immediate needs of the market or things like that, but we use our we handle our business in a long-term strategy in order at the end to treat people who are suffering from sleep disorders. We believe that very soon our investors will see the value in the company, in the stock, and stock itself will show it hopefully quite soon.
Okay, so talking about future, you know, like as we were saying, we don't see short term or middle term. So let's say, where would you see the company in 5 years?
In 5 years, we see the company on NASDAQ with a substantial value and continuing growth, and you know, entering new products in the specific field of the company.
Okay, well, it was my last question. So thank you a lot, Asaf, for taking the time to be here, and thank you for talking more about your company, AppYea.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
You.